Good morning, students. We are in video 7 of OCAD, that is module 2. So we'll be covering this module 2 in this video 7. So we learned about different parameters, characteristics, different models, how to get internal, external data and all, right? So in today's video, we also learned about how an organization should be ready according to the protocol, how it has to get ready with internal and external factors for the change which is happening, or how to manage change, right? Project goals and objectives, expectations and concerns, leadership support should be there. Why it should be there? See, only when your leader is able to support you or able to be a backbone for your work, you will be able to succeed, or probably you might get motivated to perform better, right? So, when that happens, when employees are employees' productivity is at a good rate, the organization at any point of time, it can go for the changes that can be made. Again, changes here refers to, it can be structural change, strategic change, people change, and process change. Only when they get support from the employees, right? So, ability to adapt to change. Why is that so? When organization is ready to go with the change and the assessment which is there with the readiness to changes. So, what happens? The organizations will have a better hands-on to get acquainted to the changes that can be made, right? So that is why they tell that it all depends on the organization, how well they are equipped to go for that particular change. If in case they want to go with the changes apart from the internal working of that particular organization, right? Change management experts suggest that when readiness in an organization is high, the organization is better able to initiate and sustain a major change. Staff in organizations that are ready for changes are more likely to exert greater effort, persist in the face of obstacles, and display cooperative behavior. How do you create awareness for the change, or awareness of need for that particular change? You need to create a sense of urgency around the need, that is, no, this change has to be done within this period of time. So we are going for this change and it has its own benefits with regard to the following parameters. So it might be in that terms, right? Again, you form a guiding coalition, that is why it has to go for change, through which protocol it has to go, through which way it has to go. So those guiding coalition, guiding sense also should be there. And you should create a vision for change. What is that the organization gets when it goes for the changes? How well it can benefit itself, or how he can get the best out of employees if it goes for that particular change, right? Removing obstacles. Obstacle here, it might be the resistance from the employees. Few of the employees, it's not mandatory that all the employees will be ready to go for the change, or all the members of higher level management, they'll be ready for the changes that is happening, right? Some may even resist for that. Some may even tell that no, we will go for this change in a on a later date, or we will have this kind of changes. And also, you need to communicate the vision for change. See, you've already set a vision. You're creating a vision, right? And you'll have to communicate the same. How will you communicate with the employees? You need to communicate the vision. See, later we'll be reading about the organization vision and change vision. So that is where it comes. Before starting of the organization, you would have set a vision for the organization. That is for so and so years. That is 1 or 2 years. My organization vision should be to get such a customer base, to improve the number of employees and all those, right? So when you have set a vision, once you make any changes in the structure or process of the organization, then again you will have to change your vision according to the structural changes being made. So at that point of time, it is called as changed vision. The vision which you have in the beginning or starting of your organization is just the organization vision. And the vision which is being changed or modified once the changes are being made, organization changes being made is called as changed vision. So there is difference between organization vision and change vision. So this change vision has to be communicated to all the employees at one or the other point of time. Build on the change and then creating short-term wins. These are all the ways of preparing the organization as well as the employees for the change and understanding, making them understand or understanding about the need for that particular change by the organization. Change is hard when people don't know why there is a need to change. You can usually trace resistance to change back to a lack of awareness, and nobody walked through the benefits of the change in a meaningful way. 5 steps to unsuccessful change. Acknowledge and understand the need for change. Communicate the need and involve people in developing the change. Develop change plans. Implement change plans and evaluate progress and celebrate success. So these are all the steps which you can use for making your change be successful, right? That is, you need to first acknowledge the need for the change. That is, you need to accept the fact, fine, my organization is going for change, or I am doing the changes in the organization so that my employees will accept that change, right? Next is communicating. Yeah, as we discussed earlier, anything being changed has to be communicated across the employees. You need to develop some plan, action plan or change plan, implement that, and then evaluate. You need to do is make the action plan, develop it, and then try to put it into action. That is, implement it and make the evaluation. How do you evaluate it? You have a plan, you have implemented, then make sure whatever you have implemented and you have planned for is matching across. So that is how you evaluate progress and celebrate success. Factors that block people from recognizing the need for change. See, we discussed, right? That everybody might be ready or might not be ready for going for the change. So lack of clarity. Change is often difficult if you lack a clear vision. Clarity in the sense, if the management doesn't give you the clear picture of what kind of change is being made and why the change is being made, who will be the beneficiaries of that particular change, and how will the employees get benefited from that kind of change. So there should be a clarity, clear cut idea of the changes being made. Lack of trust. One reason for resistance to change is lack of trust in the leadership team or the company as a whole. Yes, that might be a problem. Why do they do so? See, you don't believe your higher management, right? Or you don't trust your higher management. So what do you do in that place? What do you do in that place? You don't believe whatever they do is for your benefit, right? You always think that the management is trying to get you being exploited, right? You won't be able to trust them, or you won't be able to believe them, or you won't be able to come into their words. It's always the same in whatsoever organizations you take. So what do you do in that part of time? You tend to not believe, or you tend to resist for the organization changes that is being made. So what do you mean by that? You don't require the organization's help anymore. That is what it means. Next is the ineffective change communication. Whenever you want to go for change, you need to communicate it, right? What do you do? When you want to communicate the change, how will you communicate it? You will have to put it across in verbal communication, oral communication to the employees before they go for change, right? Strategic shortcomings and change resistant culture. Yeah, see, if one of the employees starts resisting to change, what happens? There are possibilities of the changes which can be resisted from much more number of employees, right? Change resistance culture is nothing but that. Lack of organizational buy-in, change fatigue, lack of governance, lack of confidence, emotional responses, fear of failure, unrealistic timelines, constant change, and listening to employees. So, these are the factors that stop people from recognizing or understanding the need for change. There are three types of resistances: logical or rational resistance, psychological or emotional resistance, and sociological resistance. Change management is a complex process and it requires serious attention as well as involvement from the management and people from all levels in order to achieve a meaningful or a progressive transformation across various levels. For being ahead in the competitive race and gaining a winning edge, organizations have been focusing on expansion of business worldwide, achieving excellence in processes and operations, implementing innovations in technology, and identifying or developing the right talent. The fast changes which have taken place and the way in which this has affected the strategies, people, policies, and processes in an organization, it has become all the more imperative that organizations clearly establish a well defined change management framework for realizing the strategic objectives. Change is inevitable and it can only be managed, failing which the organization may cease to exist. Yeah, we already went through the top causes of resistance to change: lack of confidence, emotional responses, fear of failure, poor communication, unrealistic timelines, lack of trust or surprises, constant changes, communicating early and often, and listening to employees, right? So these might be the causes again to resistance to change from employees as well as the management. So next is the point of creating a powerful vision for change. There are three elements of creating the vision for change. What is that? So one is the purpose. What do you mean by purpose? It's a reason for which you want to go for a change and it is a reason for your existence. Next is the picture, the second element which also tells us about the futuristic imagination of the organization. It is to clearly picturize or visualize your ideal future. Next is the core values. So this is the third element. Values are nothing but the tools which you need to guide your decisions and make actions according to the decisions being made. There are strategies for communicating vision for change. What are all those strategies? Keeping it simple with storytelling. Storytelling is a highly effective strategy for communication. Uh, and it helps in communicating your vision for change and being authentic. Authentic is Sticking on to your company's goals, objectives, rules, regulations, or protocols, and communicating vision through multiple channels. Repeating it, soliciting feedback. Yes, obviously, when you want to go for a change, you need to take the feedback from employees. Once the change has been done, probably after 6 months or 1 year, you again need to get the feedback from the employees. Acting consistently with the vision, mapping out the path to the vision. Next comes the organization vision and change vision. First, let us learn about organization vision. In the era of globalization, organizations function across the cultural boundaries with large investments in human capital as well as physical resources, giving utmost importance to technological change and innovative practices for a leadership advantage. Business alliances like mergers, acquisitions, diversifications, takeovers, and various other collaborative ventures have become the most preferred strategic best practices for the organizations to survive the fierce forces of competition through transfer of people, technology, processes, and leadership. For successfully handling this transition and converting the threats of change into opportunities, organization must be flexible and open for change management. So, a vision statement is a business document that states the current and future objectives of an organization. A company's vision must align with its mission, strategic planning, culture, and core values. It is a vivid mental image of what you want your business to be at some point in the future based on your goals and aspirations. Having a vision will give your business a clear focus and can stop you heading in the wrong direction. A mission statement defines the company's business, its objectives, and its approach to reach those objectives. A vision statement is important to a company because it serves as a strategic plan for success. It can act as a guide when employee encounter challenges. Vision statements also help to motivate employees to work towards shared goals. For example, of the vision statement, it's like, see, when you take the brand Nike, they have a tagline to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. So that is their vision statement. That is, they have their futuristic, they have this futuristic goal or vision to reach out to as many athletes as possible in the world. And then coming to Twitter, they have this vision as to give everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. And coming to Walmart, they have the vision statement as to be the destination for customers to save money no matter how they want to shop. Coming to the change vision. The change vision and strategy gives the organization a picture of what the future looks like after the change is implemented. It also tells organizational stakeholders why they should let go of for the past and sacrifice and work hard in the present, follow their senior leadership for to make their future better. A vision also serves as a bridge, a link from the present to the future in the minds of those who are affected by change. Because as we already saw, there might be employees who might go for resisting the change, right? Developing, clarifying, and communicating a clear vision is an important step in the change process. Now, let us go for the differences between organization vision and change vision. A change vision is easy for people to understand and it can also be communicated in within a fraction of seconds and it is both intellectually solid and also has an emotional appeal. A change vision is something that can be understood by the broad range of people who have to make the change or who can adapt to the changes being made. A corporate or company vision is looking out there at fundamental dimensions to make a company prosper. It is about the future and the present as well. So in this video 7, we completed module 2, and in the next video, that is video 8, we'll be starting with the third module. Thank you for listening, students.